Hello, this tutorial is to show you how I do my peewee garter mums and my wrist mums, and I'll go ahead and show you on the regular garters too. I make my own packers, which if you've watched my videos you've seen that. This is what I would use for a regular garter, and it's just a little bit over 5 inches in diameter, so if that's a guide for you guys to go by. And then here's just a regular garter that you can buy from any mum supply store. They're really stiff. And then here is a 3-inch circle that I make for my peewee garters or peewee mums. You could also use this for a wrist, but I think it's a little awkward. It depends on the age. If it was for a high school girl, that would work. But I like to use this size, and it is, I believe it's 2. Yeah, it's 2 inches that way, and just a little over 2 that way. So I just take a circle and then I cut a straight line. So I make it just a little bit smaller, as you can see, and then I put it on like this. So that circle is not getting in the way of the wrist, and I think it's just perfect size for a wrist. Okay, so on these peewee garters, I like to use this elastic with the footballs on it, and I believe I got it at Hobby Lobby. So it's really inexpensive, and I've made a whole bunch with it, and there's still a bunch on the roll. And it's silky smooth, so it's not irritating like this is. Like I said, this is so stiff and rough. You know, little boys aren't going to like that. So I came up with this idea, and it's just, I think it's just so much better. So they just put it on all the way up their arm. And just keep in mind about what size the kid is. If it's a really skinny child, you want to put it on kind of snug. Just keep in mind too that once you attach this, that you need to put another backer on, so it will make it a little bit tighter. So I've already got a bunch of these already made up. It just makes it easier at homecoming season to have a bunch of them done. But I'll go ahead and show you what I do. And like I said, I make them a little bit, like some of them a little bit looser and some of them a little bit tighter, just depending on the kid. So I just want to go around a little bit and just do a little hot glue right there. Just put it on the end. You don't have to go all the way to the middle. And then I'm just going to leave it a little bit loose, like that. Cut it. And I'll put some hot glue right there. And hot glue it the same on this side. And then after that dries, I will go in with my stapler and make sure you're not stapling that down when you're doing this side. And just give it a couple staples just to make sure it's on there secure. I want to wait till that dries because I will end up with a bunch of hot glue on there if I don't. So it's that simple. Just a cute little peewee garter. And of course the footballs go with football season, so that makes it a hit. Now with the wrist mums, I like to use this crochet headband material. It's stretchy, it's also soft, but since it's wide, it's more stable on the wrist. And you can get it in different colors. I usually use white or black with any of the wrist mums. So what I do on this one, like I said, I do it like this. And you always want to make sure that you're putting it on this way. So it's the same kind of thing. I just hot glue there. Put the end on. And then I kind of measure it from my own wrist. Just make sure that it's going to fit the girl. So that would be about right. I probably want to make it just a little bit looser because I will add another layer which will make it smaller. So I'm just going to hold my finger there. And the same thing, hot glue here. And this is the side that I will glue to the back of the backer with the mum on it, with the flower on it. And this will be the underside. But it will have staples and stuff on it. So again, staple, make sure you're not stapling it down. I do them kind of angle them differently, make sure you get it good. See, now it's really secure. And what I like to do with these wrist mums especially, and you can do it on these peewee garters as well, I've done it, is I just take a piece of felt and I trace that out. Or you can trace it out or just cut it from looking at it. So just try to make it about the same size as the backer. And then when I'm all finished, the very last thing I want to do is glue this in there. And it's better to have it just a little bit big And remember, it's going to have the mum and everything on top, so you're not going to be able to see this. But if you will hot glue this on top, not only will it cover your staples, but it will be so much more comfortable against their wrist, like this. And if you find out that you've made it too big, you can add another layer or two of felt, so you're not having to take it apart and redo anything. I've had to do that before. I found out it was way too big, and so I just put like 3 layers of felt inside there, and it made it the perfect size. And felt, you know, these little sheets are really inexpensive, so it just makes it, like I said, more comfortable. It's just an easy fix to cover up the staples. And you can go ahead and cover it with a regular backer and then the felt too, just to make sure it's really smooth. Okay, now on the flower sizes, I have as small as a 3-inch, and that will work on here. You just need to make sure that you do 2 layers of ribbons on your backer. So you're just going to make this like you would any other homecoming backer with the ribbon, you know, like loops or whatever you're wanting to do. But like I said, this is a pretty small flower, so you can even go in the middle with like some tinsel or feathers, but you're going to need something because this is a really small flower. Now this, I believe, is a 4 or 4.5. So you can see that's going to cover it completely, and you could do as little as 1 row of ribbons if you wanted to, or you could just even go around the edge with some tinsel or some feathers or something and not even worry about ribbons. But that's what that size would look like. And I even have this little flower. You can find sometimes on the bushes of flowers that are sold at like Hobby Lobby and Michael's and places like that. Sometimes they will have the actual mum flowers that are similar. They're not exactly the same, but you can use those too. It's a bigger flower. I think it's about a 5-inch, so it would probably be a little big for a wrist mum, unless it's for an older girl and she wants it a little bit big, but I wouldn't go any bigger than that. I'll go ahead and show you how I attach the garter. I think I've already made a video on this, but just in case you haven't seen it. So you just want to take the garter over the middle, and there's the seam, so I always want to make sure that side is glued down. And it doesn't matter which way. I'm going to put another backer on top, a clean white one on top, so it doesn't matter which side I'm doing. So I just want to do it in the middle, and you could cut them if you wanted to and attach them like I've got here, but I wouldn't use this. If you find a use for it, then that works. A little tip, if you haven't seen this, add a little glue or just stick the end on there to glue, whoops, to get that melted a little bit, and then push that through and hold it to that existing glue stick, and it will glue to itself and it won't fall out. Okay, so let's try this again. I also have 2 glue guns. I have a big one and a small one, and the big one is actually better for things like this and for putting the mum together. I highly recommend getting a big one for those things, but this one is great for little projects and gluing little things, little embellishments and stuff. So I'm just gluing that down so it's open like this, and then when that glue dries, I will again go through here and just randomly staple it down. Just want to make sure it's nice and secure and nothing comes loose. Okay guys, hope that helps. Thanks for watching.